By Parliament Speaker to GBC's management on forging stronger ties and pays his TV license.
Staff of GBC to receive salaries in full this month of July.
Accra High Court dismisses application for stay of proceedings filed by MP for Asin North, James Jechikwesin.
MPP flag bearer hopeful Kwabena J. Japan launches 2024 presidential campaign.
And oil tanker carrying 800,000 liters of stolen crude from Nigeria intercepted offshore while heading to Cameroon.
Good evening and welcome to News Hour right here on GBC News and on GTV. My name is Jonathan Thompson.
And I'm Sarah Furi. We are live on GBC News and GTV and Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
Jonathan Ntimdako brings us the sign language. In our first story, it's been some weeks of back and forth between GBC and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission with regards to some allowances wrongly deducted at the Controller and Accountant General's Department.
But the news is that from the end of this month of July, GBC's workers will receive their salaries in full. They will also enjoy a refund of all unilaterally made deductions by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. On Tuesday in court, legal representatives of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission prayed the court that correspondence from the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has gone to all relevant institutions involved in the payment of salaries and emolument to reverse its earlier instructions.
Team GBC was led by its union executives to the High Court in Accra for the case, which is now between the National Labour Commission and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Some months ago, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission alleged that during what it calls a payroll monitoring exercise, it detected some allowances that workers of GBC were enjoying illegally. The Fair Wages then unilaterally removed those allowances. When workers of GBC in protest then decided to draw up a roadmap toward an industrial action, the Fair Wages then sent the matter to the National Labour Commission. The panel of commissioners at the National Labour Commission, upon hearing from all stakeholders involved, then directed the Fair Wages to rescind its decision. Fair Wages declined, and the Labour Commission sent the matter to the High Court in Accra. Appearing before Her Lordship Mrs. Ananda Akins on Tuesday morning at the Accra High Court, Counsel for the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission told the court that Fair Wages has taken all the necessary steps to restore the allowances deducted. Counsel for the National Labour Commission argued that the alleged steps taken by the Fair Wages have not reflected yet. Mrs. Ananda Akins, in her judgment, struck out the case, but however assured that if July's salaries do not reflect the steps taken by Fair Wages, the Labour Commission should let the court know. Madame Efiba Amihir, Counsel for the National Labour Commission and the Divisional Union Chair, Mr. Samnat Kevo, spoke to GBC News after the hearing.
With what has happened today in court, does that mean that the case has finally been resolved, ma'am?
I won't say finally, because there's liberty to reapply. We haven't received the information from the workers that the amount is reflecting in their accounts or whatever. So if and when we receive that one, then it will be presumed that it's fully and finally settled.
As is so revealing, as the lawyer for Labour Commission has stated, and on record, that the Fair Wages and Labour Commission legal reps also admitted that they have complied with the directives and they have written we will only bear witness to the paperwork when it reflects on our salaries. So by the end of this month, if it has not reflected on our salary, we'll have to notify the Labour Commission for that liberty they seek from the court to reapply.
The case between the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has been struck out with liberty to reapply. Reporting for GBC News, Gifty Ajay, High Court, Accra.
Now, the minority caucus in Parliament has, for the second time, abstained from sitting as Asin North MP James Jejikwesin's criminal trial continued on Tuesday, July 11. The minority group had since last week served a notice it will not participate in proceedings whenever the case is called in court. The move by the minority is to solidarize and support their colleagues who are standing trial in court. Due to their absence, the House adjourned sitting without dealing with some businesses scheduled for the day.
Meanwhile, MP for Kankwe Central, Mr. Patrick Yabuama, says the minority's absence from Parliament is affecting proceedings and therefore asks them to rescind their decision to boycott Parliament. However, MP for Bulisa North, Mr. James Agalga, thinks otherwise.
A very unfortunate situation that we are going through, but the minority is exercising their rights under the laws. I want to entreat the minority to reconsider their decision, because Honorable Kwesin is duly represented by very experienced lawyers who can fight his case for him. It's very important that we also get measured with what we do with regards to our responsibilities as members of Parliament. And as duty demands of us, we ought to be in the chamber to represent the people who voted for us. Yes, you can show solidarity, but you should not forget about your responsibility as a member of Parliament. So it's a right, it's a caucus decision, it's a party decision. I respect that, but I'm entreating them that there ought to be a limit to what they do, especially when we have business on the floor to partake.
But if you consider the fact that the hearing dates sometimes conflict with parliamentary business, you'd want to ask the question, were they not mindful of the fact that the people they were charging are members of Parliament? Or at least, did they not find it necessary to at least stagger the court hearings so that the hearings would not conflict with parliamentary business? Did they not think about that? And so if my good friend Honorable Patrick Boama comes out to say we should nominate just a few of us to accompany our colleagues to the courts and allow the rest of us to stay here and do business, I think that statement marks of double standards, because they are the ones, it is his government which has brought all this about. And so we're saying that we would stand solidly behind our colleagues. We shall solidarize with them anytime they are going to court. They should make space for us, or at least stagger the hearing times so that court hearings do not interfere with parliamentary business. But if you think that our presence here is not necessary, you can fix court dates to conflict with parliamentary business, we would all go there and support our colleagues. It's as simple as that.
Now, away from Parliament, service, sacrifice, selflessness is his mantra, as NPP flag bearer hopeful Mr. Kwabena J.A. Japong launched his 2024 presidential campaign in Accra. As he speaks of a new dawn, he emphasizes the need for a regeneration and renewal both in the party and in the country of astute leadership with a vision that inspires hope in the youth and rekindles the faith of all Ghanaians in the country's constitutional democracy.
Especially if we are talking about the New Patriotic Party. I have served this party in very many capacities.
Mr. Kwabena J. Agyapong is one of 10 NPP flag-bearer hopefuls seeking to lead the party in the 2024 presidential race. A committee constituted to vet all 10 aspirants has completed its work and has come out with a report. Before the report is made public, Mr. Kwabena Agyapong has presented his vision to the public and justified why he should be the candidate of choice to lead the NPP in the 2024 race.
A country that can no longer deliver services is a source of worry and a strain among decent people. Poor sanitation, galamsey, high unemployment, deficient city planning, resulting in a chaotic explosion of slum settlements, falling standards of education, perilous health care, undernutrition, land conflicts, and many more are unwanted features of our current existence. For some time now, my heart has been troubled over the direction of our country.
Mr. Agyapong says the country must heal from the chronic polarization that has become an ugly feature of politics and even within political parties. From the economy to housing, employment, and especially sports, Mr. Agyapong says in his tenure, boxing, soccer and athletics will be prioritized.
We've got to revive the interest in our Premier League and restore the organic link that used to exist between our communities and traditional football teams. And of course, the all-important role of government in football administration in Ghana. I can see a bright future. We can create a competent state, one that works at pace, one that ensures compliance with rules and regulations and enforces its own regulations.
He says where the country finds itself currently is not where our forebears envisioned us to be. Hence, Ghanaians have a collective task to step up to the challenge and change the narrative. The government has been constructing new school buildings to replace the ones in remote rural areas which are in a very bad state. The program, which is funded by the Valco Trust Fund, has come as welcome relief for the target audience who say previous conditions reduced school attendance rates to the barest minimum.
This is one of the new schools being constructed in the remote areas of the country, and the government says these provisions are set to continue until the West is discarded. The new school buildings are located in parts of the country where access by commonest means of transportation is even more difficult. They are hamlets within forests, only reached by traversing bad roads. Presumably, they are cut off and probably forgotten, for they are not on the radar. All these boxed together show that a lot of thought has gone into these provisions, and the processes for their allocations are very daunting. Thanks to the Valco Trust Fund, the government had another avenue of project financing to make the schools available for distressed rural folks. Locations visited to ascertain the projects included Chechere in Upper Denchira East in the Central Region, Adanse Ahoma in Amansie West, Wawase in Bekwai District, Nyinatiase in Amansie Central, Afraso in Amansie South, all in the Ashanti region, and Ekrofufu near Kwabin in the Eastern region. Others in the pipeline are at various stages of construction. These are some of the old structures that are to be disused with the advent of the new. 7 kindergartens. The toddlers who are to be housed in the new structures will get better protection from hazards, including dangerous reptiles and natural phenomena such as rainfall. Mami Esi Nana, and Ama Oboma are some of the mothers who opened up on emotions, saying they are inspired to embark on the advocacy for child enrollment in schools. Some said it will save parents the long walk to other towns just to send their children to school. Half a loaf is better than none points at situations where there is anything little or bad to improvise, and one of the best examples of this cliche is at Afraso, where some of the West Kindergarten school buildings are located. There is a sigh of relief in some parents now, and they suggest for its betterment that teachers' accommodation be added. The Valco Trust Fund, acting on behalf of government, avows it is already part of its considerations. Thus, shelter for teachers posted to deprived areas remains an essential action to follow in due course.
The Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center, in collaboration with the Austrian Ministry of Defense, has launched a comprehensive training program for political advisors, POLADs, in Accra. The aim is to prepare the advisors for their critical roles in UN missions in Africa, as well as African Union, that's the AU, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS operations.
The Political Advisor Course for Peace Support Operations in Africa 2023 covers a diverse range of topics essential to effective peace support operations. 23 senior personnel from various African countries and organizations who are political advisors, POLADs, will for the next 2 weeks explore approaches such as negotiation and mediation, public diplomacy, communication through the media, and potential roles of POLADs in ECOWAS and AU operations and missions. This will equip them with vital skills to improve the quality of information they provide and also enhance their overall effectiveness in managing conflicts and crises. The commandant of the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center, Major General Richard Adujani, encouraged the participants to take advantage of the excellent facilities at the center to maximize the outcome of the training.
The role of the political advisor in a mission is very critical for providing the mission leadership with proper analysis of political development, trends and emerging issues in the country or region, and making recommendations on possible policies, strategies and other measures to address issues of concern. I urge you all to put at the disposal of your colleagues and course facilitators the vast knowledge, expertise and experiences you possess from your individual organizations in order to enrich the delivery of the course.
To empower individuals with enhanced political expertise, the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center and the Austrian Ministry of Defense are paving the way for stronger and more effective peace support operations in Africa.
We are very, very happy that we can run this course, which gives a lot of peoples and participants the possibility to develop their already existing skills on political advising within missions or within bilateral engagements, which are, of course, most of the time related to crisis management because of the situation as it is here.
The Political Advisor course brought together a diverse group of professionals, including diplomats, military officers and policymakers from various African countries. Samuela Korte, GBC News, Accra.
Ghana's continuous decline in global press freedom rankings increased in fake news and challenges in upholding professional journalism were some concerns raised by the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin, during his unique visit to the state's broadcaster.
In an engaging interaction with the management of the public service broadcaster, the Speaker covered areas from politics to religion to culture and media work. This year, Parliament is marking 30 years of uninterrupted parliamentary democracy in Ghana.
The Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin's maiden visit to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation is connected to the 30th anniversary celebration of the democratic governance in the country. Parliament is seeking partnership of the state broadcaster in the year-long celebration. In his interaction with management, Mr. Bagbin expressed concern about the increasing decline of Ghana's position on the Global Press Freedom Index. He is worried that even countries that have less conducive political and economic climate are believed to be doing better in press freedom than Ghana, whose media landscape is more than a century old. He called on all the arms of government to provide the necessary support in ensuring that the media is given the right environment to operate and tasked journalists to be professional.
We cannot continue to live in a state of fetters on free media and free expression. That is unknown to the culture of democracy. I'm very, very disturbed and worried about the criminalization of free speech. You know that we've made some attempts and we succeeded in repealing the criminal libel law. But there are some laws that we still have that are fetters on the freedom of the media and free speech.
The Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, told the Speaker that the 88-year-old corporation has been resilient even in the face of financial constraints to ensure that it lives up to the mandate of being the public service broadcaster. He called on Parliament and Ghanaians to help to sustain the state broadcaster in reaching remote areas through the paying of their television license fees.
It is a bit worried that since 2004 and 2005, there has not been any serious investment into GBC in terms of its infrastructure. The media scape is a fast-changing one, and if you do not retool with the right equipment, you will have to deal with an analog structure within a digital ecosystem. And this has been our biggest challenge. We think that critical equipment for transmission and for production needs to be acquired, not through IGF, but direct public investment.
30 years of Ghana's parliamentary democracy is an important turning point for the nation. The celebration is on the theme 30 years of parliamentary democracy under the Fourth Republic, the journey thus far.
And the Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Alban Bagbin, on Tuesday paid his TV license fee of 60 cedis as his annual subscription fee.
He encouraged Ghanaians to also pay their TV license fee as a must for all who own TV sets. The Speaker made the call at the Broadcasting House when he interacted with the management of the state's broadcaster. Mr. Bagbin explained that regular and prompt payment of TV license fees will enable the corporation to concentrate more on its public service mandate of reaching all in the country, including the fringes in the various Ghanaian languages.
You're still watching News Hour right here on GBC News and on GTV.
We take a breather. We'll be right back.
Piccadilly Choco Cookies, made with the finest Ghanaian cocoa. Now introducing Piccadilly Butter Cookies, a new addition to the Piccadilly family.
This advert is FDA approved.
Abofra bia hia nyina so a ode bani odomo apomodimu ene akokudromo eti na wose yetu anamo ebema ye mana diye dache. Early childhood development ye kwanya ye faso detiti ye mofra ntem ewo say ye wow pe mehwe so afa me SP inro nyina abra menyem na madene ho afi malaria mehwe so ama me banu funso nkoa abosumi sia edikan eno nkoa ne aduane ne insu a ohia Onya bosume nso a mema me ba no aduane a ahoɔden wɔ mu ɛne dodo a ohia na aboa ma me ba no anyi pepeepe mekɔ so a de me ba no kɔ ama ya bobɔ ne mpaneɛ na ya soso n'anum ama n'anya baibɔ a emu ɔdɛ mekɔ so de ɔdɔ atete me ba a ɔwɔ nipadua mu sintɔ na mama no akwanya a abɔfra biara hia Mehe sɛ me ba no bɛhyɛ adesua sentem na ne daakye awie ne pɛyɛ. Mehe sɛ me ba no fom a mɛtene no ɔdɔ kwan so. Menya no han na mɛbɔ ne ho ban abere nyinaa. Mɛtaa me ba mputu akyi ntem paa fi ne nkɔla abere. Ɛnti wɔn so yɛ ne saa.
88 out of 88. It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 out of 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 out of 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and to by email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 out of 88.
Hello, it's time for business brought to you by MTN with me, Esther Edu Ohumeu. The Ministry of Finance in a statement issued on 10th July 2023 has indicated that government has made good its promise and has settled all outstanding coupons and principal coupons up until the 19th of June 2023, while instructions have also been set for payment of coupons due up until the 10th of July 2023. The statement by the Finance Ministry comes on the heels of a picket that individual bondholders were to embark on at the premises of the ministry. The government and a coalition of individual bondholders groups, which consist of the Individual Bondholders Forum and the Individual Bondholders Association of Ghana, on May 16 this year reached an agreement regarding the government's outstanding domestic debt service obligations. Per the terms of the Memorandum of Understanding, the government undertook to pay all arrears on coupons of bonds maturing by 31st May 2023, as well as coupons falling due from 1st June 2023. Since the MOU signing in May, the Ghana Individual Bondholders Forum and the Individual Bondholders Association of Ghana have been dissatisfied with the government's lack of action by indicating that payments of some bonds have been in default for over 100 days, and it has been over 50 days since agreeing on terms captured in the MOU, with no implementation undertaken nor official communication on the way forward by the ministry. However, the statement by the Finance Ministry indicated that government settled all outstanding coupons and principal coupons up until 19th of June 2023, while instructions have also been sent for payment of coupons falling due up until the 10th of July 2023. The Integrated Business Establishment Survey would now include 5 other categories as compared to the last survey, which only included businesses found in structures. This year's IBES, according to the government statistician, Professor Kobina Enim, has new categories including businesses in open spaces and virtual establishments.
Seek to do is our ability to link the business and population registers, and that is the main reason we have NIA on this steering committee, and we are hoping that all the efforts that are currently ongoing in ensuring data integration from education, health sector perspective would be expanded to touch on integrating businesses. And this is where the Ministry of Trade, the Ghana Statistical Service, the Ghana Revenue Authority would work closely with the National Identification Authority to develop an identifier that would help link all this. Eventually, once this is done and we link it to our address system, then the conversation around an informal economy would have been reduced significantly. And this is where we seek to, the end goal that we seek as far as this 2023 integrated business establishment is concerned.
The cedi has been projected to remain relatively stable on the forex market this week and continue to the end of the month, where the mid-year budget review will be read. Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to present the mid-year review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government and the supplementary estimates for the 2023 financial year to Parliament by Thursday, 27th July. The review will, among other things, indicate measures government has put in place for a stronger local currency. Currently, analysts are hopeful that a successful mid-year budget review and a positive first evaluation of the International Monetary Fund program will set the tone for a stronger performance of the cedi against other currencies going forward. The cedi lost marginal grounds against the dollar and the other major foreign currencies last week. It lost 0.21% in value to the dollar, depreciated 0.33% and 1.57% to the pound and euro respectively. The expected $20 million in bi-weekly forex support to bulk oil distributors by the central bank will also cushion the cedi against volatility. The cedi is presently going for about 11.75 cedis to $1 in the retail market, whilst the Bank of Ghana quotes $1 for 11 cedis. Let's go to the Forex and Commodity Boards. The business news was brought to you by MTN. Thanks for watching.
It's raining great goodies and value all over Ghana. GBC is 88 years old, and for every business you do on any GBC platform in anniversary month of July, you get 88% extra value. 88 at 88. Do business with us from the 1st to the 31st July 2023 and get extra 88% bonus all over GBC platforms. The benefits are valid till September 30, 2023. 88 at 88. Love the new GBC. Terms and conditions apply. Contact us on 0303 959 604 or 0303 959 605 and to buy email sales@gbcghanaonline.com. 88 at 88.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the energy segment. My name is Dominic Onoji. Government says it is on course with addressing challenges with the operations of the Tema Oil Refinery tour. The Minister for Trade and Industry, Katie Hammond, reaffirmed this when he toured the Central Oil Refinery in Tema. He is confident that all the technical, financial and managerial issues will be resolved to bring the facility back to life.
There are different concepts altogether. Tema Oil Refinery has got its own problem. From the time I was Deputy Minister of Energy up to today, somehow Tema Oil Refinery has got an intractable problem that is not been able to crack. We do not know why, but I know my nephew, the Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Prempeh, is working very hard at trying to resolve whatever problems of Tema Oil Refinery are. But what it is that somehow this should see an end to any refining problem that we have in the country.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, began its Operation Zero exercise across its operational areas today, 11th July 2023. In the Volta and Oti regions, the 2-month-long exercise, which seeks to recoup debts owed by customers, will cover the 11 operational districts in the area. Volta Regional Public Relations Officer of ECG, Mr. Benjamin Entry, said the company will visit customers who are not captured in its database and are using power for free and those with faulty meters.
Just visit you at your premises. When we visit your premises and realize that your meter is not in our system, we'll capture your details and give you a bill. The LI allows us to go as far back as 12 months, 1 year to bill, but we are having a moratorium during this period. So we are looking at within 3 months to 6 months, depending on a case-by-case situation. So we'll give you the bill. We are not coming to the police to arrest. We'll give you the bill, and then we'll ensure you pay something. When we give you the bill and then you're unable to pay, we'll go and come back. When we come back, we'll ensure that you pay the bill. When you are unable to pay and then you are trying to obstruct the assignment, that is when the police will come in. And then when a customer also embarks on a self-reconnection, because when you are disconnected during this period, you cannot do self-reconnection. So all customers who are planning to engage in self-reconnection or engaging third-party electricians to reconnect them after disconnection, please, they should desist from this act. As part of this exercise, we are not receiving cash at the office. Rather, you'll be making payment through the ECG Power App. So we are entreating all our customers to download the ECG Power App and then set up their account through their meter numbers if it is a prepaid, and through their account number if it is the postpaid. Set up these accounts on the ECG Power App, and then you have to pay your bills before we get there.
Overall national power generation was 62.5072 gigawatt hours within the last 24 hours. Here are some key national statistics on electricity generation within the last 24 hours. That's it for this segment. My name is Dominic Onoji.
the show were a jar or bar anyone conquering dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
In Jija, woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cup.
And now you may kiss.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem. FDA agitated in Kratway at
The health segment is brought to you by Lufat from Tobinco. Ghana is on high alert following the outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza A, popularly referred to as bird flu, in Lome, Togo. The outbreak was announced by the Volta Regional Health Directorate of the Ghana Health Service. In a statement issued by the Ghana Health Service, the outbreak has killed about 1,450 of a flock of 1,500 birds, with the remaining birds being culled. The statement cautions all district health facilities and port health units to heighten their surveillance activities for the disease. The Ghana Health Service further cautions residents residing in the region to avoid direct contact with wild birds and domestic birds that look sick or have died. Meanwhile, the Accra Veterinary Laboratory is encouraging farmers and persons who deal in poultry products to seek advice from veterinary officers and receive a permit before moving poultry from one point to the other. This stems from the confirmation of bird flu cases in some farms across the country. The laboratory says 22 cases have so far been confirmed this year, 11 cases in the Greater Accra, 5 in Ashanti region, and 6 in the Central region. The head of the Accra Veterinary Laboratory, Dr. Theophilus Odum, also cautioned farmers to look out for sudden deaths of birds and report accordingly. He was speaking to GBC News earlier in the day.
We are in the laboratory. We receive samples from the farmers and sometimes our district veterinary officers. So when birds are dying, they bring the sample to the laboratory. And the laboratory, we use a PCR technique to confirm the disease. So when we confirm the disease in the laboratory, we report to the regional veterinary officer to get in touch with the farmer or the district officer. And together with the assembly, Ghana Health Service, NAGMO, they bring the situation under control. What we can do is to educate farmers on the movement of animals. So, for example, if you want to move birds from Ashanti region to Greater Accra region, you have to get a permit that the birds are healthy. They are not suffering from avian influenza before you can move it. The vaccine comes with a whole lot of issues. So in the world, there is a study, ongoing study about vaccination. We haven't gotten there yet. So currently we are not using vaccination against highly pathogenic avian influenza. Usually there will be unusual death of birds. So when you have your backyard farm and you see that your birds are dying, you quickly call the attention of a veterinarian or you report to the veterinary office. And also when you find unusual death of of other animals around your vicinity, please kindly inform veterinary office and their officers will check for you. Other than that, our birds are safe, our eggs are safe in the house. So please, there's no cause for alarm.
Let's be reminded to stay high alert. The health segment was brought to you by Lufat from Tobinco.
On the foreign front, Nigeria's state-owned oil company says an oil tanker carrying 800,000 liters of stolen crude has been intercepted offshore while heading to Cameroon. The oil firm said the oil had been stolen from a well in the southeastern state of Ondo. Oil theft from pipelines and wells in the Niger Delta is a major problem for the Nigerian economy, robbing it of much needed revenue. The oil company said that the Nigerian registered tanker had been operating in what it called stealth mode for the last 12 years. Crude theft from pipelines and wells in the Niger Delta has hobbled the country's output in recent years and is one of the biggest challenges to confront new President Bola Tinubu. It said the vessel would be destroyed as a deterrent. Sweden has hailed historic step with Turkey to back Swedish and Finnish membership in NATO. The move, Sweden's Prime Minister said, would make the alliance stronger. The Nordic country previously embraced wartime neutrality for more than 200 years, but applied for membership last May as part of efforts to improve security and stability in Northern Europe.
The outcome of crunch talks with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is being seen as a major win for Sweden's right-wing Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson. While Sweden's initial application to join NATO was made by Mr. Kristersson's Social Democrat predecessor Magdalena Andersson, he has made securing membership a key foreign policy priority since taking over as Swedish leader in October. Some critics have questioned Sweden's ideological shift, raising concerns about how it will affect the country's global image after decades as an international mediator. There are also concerns about the impacts of negotiating with Turkey, a nation with a questionable human rights record. But for NATO supporters, Sweden's membership is essential because it will offer the country additional security guarantees during a volatile period in European politics. Meanwhile, Sweden's membership will also give NATO additional resources. Although it does not have a large military, it has reintroduced conscription and boosted defense spending in recent years with a plan to raise its military budget to 2% of Sweden's GDP by 2026.
Now, 3 people were killed and 3 others are missing in flooding in southwest Japan caused by the region's heaviest rain ever. Rivers overflowed and hillsides collapsed as record amounts of rain were dumped on parts of Kyushu Island. The National Weather Agency logged 402.5 millimeters falling in Kurume on Monday, the highest ever recorded in the city. Roads and power lines were cut and thousands were ordered to evacuate as further downpours were expected. The downpours prompted evacuation notices for hundreds of thousands of people, and remote communities remain effectively cut off by flooding and other damage. Landslides are a particular risk in Japan during heavy rains because the homes are often built on plains at the bottom of hillsides in the mountainous country. Scientists say climate change is intensifying the risk of heavy rain in Japan.
Good evening. Let's talk sports. I am Theophilus Sampa to basketball. The defending champions of the Accra Basketball League Men's Division 1 Braves of the Ghana Revenue Authority lost to Spintex Knights for the second time this season. They lost by 4 points. That's 49 points to 45. The win extends the Knights' flawless run in the season. The pulsating clash took place on Saturday night at the Prisons basketball court. It attracted a partisan crowd. In the opening quarter, the Knights secured a narrow 13 points to 12 lead over the Braves. However, the Braves managed to regain momentum in the second quarter, holding a slim 27 points to 25 advantage at halftime. The Knights' resurgence began in the third quarter, where they outscored the Braves, amassing 14 points to their opponents' 10. This surge allowed the Knights to take a 39 points to 37 lead, holding into the final quarter, setting the stage for a tense finish. Both teams fought tooth and nail in the fourth quarter, displaying tremendous resilience and determination. However, it was the Knights who showcased greater composure down the stretch, edging out the Braves with a final score of 49 points to 45. The Knights' ability to execute under pressure proved pivotal in securing their victory. The assistant coach of the Braves, Ishmael Salisu, said they will correct their mistakes and bounce back better. The coach of Spintex Knights, Selon Thomas, commended his team for their impressive fight back, saying the contest was their toughest challenge so far. The win has strengthened Spintex Knights' grip at the summit of the league table in the ongoing Accra Basketball League Men's Division 1. The National Sports Authority, NSA, has celebrated Ghana's gallant track and field athletes that emerged the overall winners of the Confederation of Africa Athletics Zone 2 Senior Championship in Lomé, Togo. Ghana picked 24 medals made up of 14 gold, 8 silver, and 2 bronze medals. The Director General of the NSA, Professor Peter Chumesi, announced the 20,000 cedis cash support to the Federation. The presentation of medals by Ghana's team at the just-ended Confederation of Africa Athletics Zone 2 Senior Championship in Lomé, Togo, to the Director General of the National Sports Authority, NSA, Professor Peter Chumesi, was to show their appreciation for the support they received from them during their journey by road to Togo's capital, Lomé. In all, Ghana presented 19 athletes and all returned with a medal or 2. The team had 14 gold medals, 8 silver medals, and 2 bronze medals. The Ashanti Regional Director of the NSA, Mr. Emmanuel Apia, briefed the Director General on the performance of the team.
Ghana was the toast of every country that participated out there. Everything we did turned into a fun, and then the medals were coming. Everybody was just interested in the Ghana team. At the end of the activity, we had 14 gold medals, 8 silver medals, and then 2 bronze, making 24.
A member of the NSA governing board, Mr. Emmanuel Tufo-Kora, urged the athletes to train hard and be disciplined at all times.
We will do everything that you guys need, because next year we are hosting the All African Games, and we don't need to host this and people from Nigeria and all these countries come and get the medals. We will do everything to help you guys. Keep on training, discipline, and make sure next year you make us proud.
The Director General of the National Sports Authority, Professor Peter Chumesi, praised the athletes and announced a financial reward to assist the association and athletes.
National Sports Authority will do whatever it takes for you to be able to be put on the global map.
for them to see what you have gotten. I know it took you some efforts to get yourself to go and compete in Lomé, and you have also other competitions, although it's been taking care of you, to offer you 20,000 Ghana cedis.
Team Ghana was followed on the medal table by Burkina Faso, Togo, Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Niger, Mali, and Liberia. Ghana Athletics have been invited by the Nigerian Athletics Federation to participate in the upcoming International Relay Championship set for Lagos on the 15th of July. The Chief Executive of Ghana Athletics, Mr. Baf Husseini, says the participation will boost the athletes' preparations ahead of the African Games next year.
Gotten a special invitation to represent Ghana at International Relay Championship in Lagos, Nigeria on the 14th of this month.
Wow.
Wow. Everything's paid for.
Wow.
That's tickets. Wow. So we will take the male 4x4, the male 4x100, and the female 4x100. That is 3 relay teams. Their tickets and everything is being secured as we speak. They will go on Friday, compete on Saturday, and come back on Sunday in the morning.
Great. This is good news.
As a result of the keen opportunity they gave to Nigeria. Nigeria brought their best from US, and we brought our best from Ghana. The difference was not much. So they saw that if we come to Lagos to participate in the international release, it will help us, it will help them.
That's all for sports.
Hello, let's enjoy the fun and the relaxing part of the news. I am Hega Owusu, and now to our first story. The newly refurbished Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park in Accra was temporarily closed to allow for preparation towards the commercial operations of the park. Is the park open for commercial use as promised? Let's find out.
Pomp and pageantry was in full swing when the park formally opened. Many were curious for the first-hand experience of the new and improved Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, but it was temporarily closed to properly prepare for commercial use. As was promised by management of the park, it was opened to the public on Tuesday, 11th of July 2023. The arts and entertainment news was at the new tourist site, the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, along the John Evans Atta Mills High Street. Our news team reports that the park is indeed opened, but was prevented from going inside. They were not allowed further than the reception, so could not tour the park itself. This past weekend, however, the buzz was that there was a spelling glitch of Nkrumah, so we hope to check if there was any truth in this. Unfortunately, we are unable to speak on this. The reopening of the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park marks an important milestone, offering visitors the opportunity to explore the enhanced facilities and immerse themselves in the legacy of the former president.
Welcome back. It appears there is an apparent wave of kiss and tell in actors' memoirs. Not long ago, Yvonne Nelson shared part of her private life with the world. Now, another admired actor, Adjei Annan, in his memoir, has also bravely faced up to stepping out on his wife.
In his newly released publication titled Adjei Annan, A Story of Faith, imperfection and resilience? The award-winning actor shares this delicate aspect of his relationship with his wife of almost a decade, Elomanan. In Chapter 9, titled Marital Challenges and Imperfection, Adjetey Annan candidly explores the trials and tribulations that his marriage has endured, including a prolonged wait of over 7 years to conceive their first child and his infidelity. He openly admits that what initially started as naive behavior with the opposite sex gradually escalated into intense flirtation, occasionally crossing boundaries. Adjetey Annan says women's intuition is sharp and his wife always caught him before things could get worse with his girlfriends.
That's all for the entertainment segment of the news.
Now, this is why I say be careful what you write.
For tomorrow, it might come biting at you big time anyway.
That's right.
That's how we wrap up the bulletin. We'll be back at 10 with news tonight. Have a good evening.